So my research to date has focused exclusively on the voice and looking for the actual voices of Puerto Ricans within the archive. And what I found, to my great disappointment, is that those voices are they come out or expressed either in relation to the state, either through the court system, through a lot of either lawsuits and or discrimination cases, or those voices are mediated by the state via education. So the historical oral histories, their intent was for pedagogy. How do we teach others about Puerto Ricans? And this reifies the notion of Puerto Ricans as the other. And we get this idea, their stories, their histories, their voices are then fragmented in these one-line responses. So I found the questioning of the previous oral histories wholly inadequate. I would like to see programming that focuses on the cultural memory of Puerto Ricans here in Philadelphia and get away from this idea of traditional history or rehearsing historiography. I would like to see programming that I can't find or that presents information that I can't find in a Wikipedia article, which has been difficult thus far, right? A lot of this, I don't want us to retread other histories. And I was also trying to see where was the voices of the artists. And again, this was entirely lacking in the archive. So for programming, I came up with ideas of sound art. There are a lot, Latinx artists have a great history as sound performance artists. I'd like to highlight the work of Amanda Gutierrez, for one. She's a Mexican sound artist who works in many mediums and has done sound walks, which I think is an amenable program for here. But I also was trying to propose, I focus on sound because it also allows us to get away from not only focusing on the voice, but get away from this idea of immigration as being the only narrative that can be expressed by Puerto Rican voices. And by that, I mean to say, not necessarily that we have to eschew or ignore the immigration, but let's put that as part of the grander cultural memory. I'm less concerned of hearing about why or where people came from, but how that has been memorialized here. How do those narratives get rehearsed? How have they changed? And I'm also looking for programs that allow us to see how Puerto Ricans are, to frame that narrative as the community being constitutive of the grander cultural memory of Philadelphia itself. So rather than saying that this was an exclusive community that had its own particular neighborhoods, its own set of cultures, I really want to get away from this language of integration, assimilation, immigration, as a way to try to resist the frame of Puerto Ricans again as other. Because in the current political times, we have to be very careful with that, especially with Maria, right? That's the constant reiteration, is that Latino threat is present, and it's ever present within looking at the Puerto Rican community. So I'm really interested to hear people's ideas about sound art in particular, but I think an oral history project that is more arts focused allows kind of like the testimonials of the Puerto Ricans here to be emphasized.